All right, so you're ready to record your first podcast. Do you have a microphone? Who's going to distribute for you? Do you have a studio? What about the editing? All right, everyone relax because I think I have the answer. Anchor app. Yeah, Anchor. It's free. They distribute Spotify, Apple, many more. There's creation tools that allow you to edit and create your podcast from your phone, your laptop, or your personal computer. And the best thing of all, girl, you can make money no matter how many listeners you have. So the answer is simple. Get Anchor. Anchor FM app. Go find it now. Tell them a seat at the table sent you. I would belabor this moment. I really would. And sing a song or do something that is completely and utterly distracting. But, there's just so much to talk about that, let's not waste a moment. You are tuned into an all-new episode of A Seat at the Table podcast, where if you are not at the table, then that means you're on the menu. We are here. We are going to talk about everything. I am your hostess with the mostest, Gail. You guys, what a long week, eh? Long, exciting, very eventful, no? How are you doing? How you doing? Yeah, you look great. You've been eating a lot? Oh, not really. Well, you know, listen, I have been having a battle with the snacks. I haven't been eating as well as I should be. And I've pretty much resigned myself to eating one meal a day and snacking, grazing throughout the day, which is such a terrible combination for anyone, especially if you are over a certain age. Oh my God. Okay. First of all, so anyways, you've been working from home. I start that tomorrow. I'm really excited. I'm also a little bit nervous. I had a dream last night that I was working from home and there was all of this crazy noise everywhere and I couldn't stop it, and my devices were malfunctioning and I was fitzing, my head was spinning like Linda Blair. I don't know why I'm so nervous about the whole idea of working from home. I think it's when you live in an environment where there's a difference between a thermometer and a thermostat, right? So a thermometer takes your temperature. A thermostat sets the temperature. I think that it's always important to be, when you can be in the thermostat role, You get to set the temperature of where you're at. It is vastly different when you just kind of are always reading the temperature, and you'll have to gauge who you are and what you do based off what the temperature is. You don't get to set or control the temperature. So that's been something that I've had to deal with. And, you kind of just go through it knowing either you're someone who is very comfortable in that role, very comfortable of being the thermometer, you know, or you are a type A personality like myself where you yearn for the opportunity to be the thermostat. Especially for where I'm at in life right now, I so badly want to control what the energy is around me. But, there's a lesson to be learned in everything. And I kind of just take it more as this is an opportunity and a lesson for you. And, even if you are in the thermometer role, you can still do things to regulate, if you will, regulate what the energy is around you. So I don't know, guys. I still am really, really just damn, damn, I gotta I got to figure this out. Now, for those of you who have worked from home and who don't live alone, what is that like exactly? Because for me, it really just feels like um, I spend as much time outside of the home as possible, where I get the opportunity to kind of decide where I want to be and with whom I want to be with. And that's just more of an opportunity for me to set and control the temperature in my own life as much as I can. But I would love to hear from you guys who are working from home. How are you doing that? What does that look like, especially if you don't live alone? And I don't mean like you live with your bratty ass kids. Oh my God, you guys. Okay. I went on a date this week. Oh my God. All right, so I told y'all last week I was back on the dirty girl, the nasty girl app. Shut up. Listen, all right, it's a very peculiar time, and one could make the argument that if you are, in fact, going to be still out here wanting to do your thug fizzle, that the Nasty Girl app is probably the path of least resistance. Like, you don't have to go out there and talk through your mask and be like, oh, I wonder what the other half of his face look like. You know, he's probably a cutie under that fucking blue tarp that has taken over half of his face. So there I am. Picture it, Sicily, 1922. There I am on the Nasty Girl app. I spot a young man. And listen, I'm just now realizing after this week's events that maybe, just maybe, okay, maybe having a younger nigga is not all that it's cracked up to be, okay, because they can be actually problematic. And so for that, I am going to have to figure that part out in terms of, okay, well, girl, maybe you don't need to be dating younger. But anyways, so he seemed attractive. He looked cute. Excuse me. Oh my God. I don't have a disease, so don't look at me like that. Just a little smoker's cough. So, anyways, so he looks like he's in his pictures. Chocolate, amazing smile, deep set brown eyes, sees a haircut, nice little body, right up my dirt road. And so I agreed to do a meetup with this guy after talking to him for a few days, right? Uh, so first and foremost, we meet by a park that is close to his home. We actually meet by his house, and he lives in an apartment building in the Westchester area, lives by himself. I mean, he's dinging off all the right boxes, okay? So I'm so excited to meet this young man because I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, this is going to be great. He's single, he's professional, he's got his own place, he's a cutie. What could go wrong? So when I do finally meet him, he is way smaller than I had anticipated. I felt like I was kitten-fished. Yeah, not catfished, bitch. Kitten-fished. That's when a young nigga presents himself to be something else. And I mean, listen, yes, he did live by himself. Yes, he's still professional. He was probably about, I don't know. I thought he would have been giving at least 5'10". He was probably giving a smooth 5'7". His body frame was very tiny. Now, for those of you who know me, who know, the toxic emperor himself that I had been dealing with, he is also a smaller guy. So it would seem weird that I would now denounce this other small guy, but I have come to the place where, listen, I don't want to, in a spooning situation, if you will, I don't want it to be two little teaspoons holding each other. I would like to feel like, for once and for all, enveloped by a man. I would like to feel like he is the tablespoon and I am the teaspoon. Okay, I'm tired of like two little people being together. Oh, look at that. Like, yeah, I get it. But at the same time, like, girls, sometimes the girls want to feel like uh, uh, a tablespoon is hugging them, not the teaspoon. So yeah, and then after that, he invites us to smoke, while we're sitting in the park having subpar conversation, because, one of the things that I can't stand is when someone's opinions are, you are entitled to your own opinion. I will give you that. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. What you are not entitled to is your own facts. That cannot be a thing. All right? So the fact that this gentleman was talking to me about systemic racism, but making up his own facts as it pertained to him being a black man and what it means, I was like, no, I think I have to stop you. Like, and I think that that's the thing that gets me in trouble all the time. That's the thing. It's like, I just can't, like, let a nigga be wrong, you know? Like, I can't let a nigga just say some dumb shit and be wrong. No. I got to correct a nigga. And most of the times, niggas don't like to be corrected. So you see the problem, right? You see why it comes off as like, this bitch thinks she know everything and whatever, whatever. So I decide, all right, I brought my own blunt. He's got his. Let's smoke a taste. I didn't feel like it was appropriate for us to share a blunt because I don't know this man like that. So we're smoking, and he warns me that, listen, I get a little chatty, and I start to talk in circles. I start to talk in circles when I smoke. And I thought to myself, like, okay, well, this can't be that bad, you know? It can't be that bad. Bitch, you guessed it. It was bad. Like, he just kind of lost it after we smoked. He lost his shit. And I thought to myself, all right, let me get out of here. So I made up some excuse about having to meet a friend in the city. Therefore, I would have to leave our little meetup early. And I just kind of assumed that we were done. Like, there was nothing else for us to talk about. We're probably never going to speak again, and that's fine. He did holler back at me sometime later in the week, but one of the subjects we talked about was black men and sexuality. And I got the vibe from him that he had probably encountered, or at least has thought about, being in a same-sex situation. And, I got that feeling because he basically said to me, like, if it weren't for the stigma, that is placed upon black men when it comes to sexuality, I think, like, a lot of black men think about being in a same-sex situation. And I think, this is him saying, I believe that if it weren't for, the stigma and the opinions of black women, black men would feel differently about homosexuality. And I was like, all right, well, that's a cop out, and it's bullshit, because, there is, yes, there is a pressure by and large for you to, perhaps be swayed by by nurture, um, how you feel about, the gradient of sexuality. Because, if you are, if you're not kind of just dealing with